And hello, this is the recap from Mercury. This is a special episode, however, because we do not have a regular release for the show this week. There was a recap in Japan, we didn't get it, but we don't like to take time off around here. So we're going to talk about Doan's Island. My name is Scott.
I'm Jabman.
We're talking about Doan's Island, the movie. The feature presentation that is, of course, based on, beloved, never seen, forgotten, infamous, legendary,
Yeah.
best, most favorite, forgotten episode 16 of First Gundam.
Infamous was the right word and all that.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, the episode of Donan was the original Mobile Suit Gundam, and it did air in Japan. When it came stateside and came out for the American release, Tomino specifically asked that episode be erased or not included in the collection.
And that's
He
true
never said
for
why.
and that's true for everywhere except maybe Italy. The first time it ran in Italy, because the Italian licensor, Italy ran it basically in 1980, not entirely legally, as far as we can tell.
Yeah. Well, Italy, shockingly, Italy runs a lot of anime.
Oh yeah,
a lot.
Digging up old. We could do it. We should do an episode where we dig up Italian covers of Super Robot themes. It'll be great.
Yes. But there's the reason. Tomino never said officially what the reason why, but the reason is it is one of the most crappily animated episodes of anything you've ever seen.
Yes.
All those memes you see where the Gundam is all distorted, messed up, most of them come from this episode.
Yeah.
So
the episode itself was. Yeah, episode 17, which is the start of the Dublin arc, or the Belfast arc, where Kai grows up. Was taking too long, and Doan's Island was an episode that had kind of been everyone's back pocket project. Like, they knew they were gonna run up on some sort of deadline at some point. You can tell this because of all the character designs have weird dates on them that don't make any sense. And so this was like a half-finished episode that was ready to fill in for at any point. And stuff hit the fan, and they finally had to do it. And now we know that it was Yasuhiko, Yaz himself, who directed that episode. But most of the work got farmed out to a studio called Anime Friend, which is notoriously bad. Like, they don't exist anymore, but if you've ever, I think Anime Friend, if I think the one everyone knows from Anime Friend is the knife fight episode from Macross. Yeah, these guys are the definition of the lowest bidder. So it comes in off model. It's a weird plot cul-de-sac, and Tomino keeps it out of international release, and it will even now that we have this movie, we will never see that episode until one of them is dead. Either Yaz or Tomino has to die for us to see this for real. Before we continue, I will say that this episode is sponsored by RightStuff.com, and we are talking about, in particular, the Cucuruz Doan Island version of the Guncannon. This is a high grade. It's a Guncannon. It's the only Doan's Island kit in stock at Right Stuff right now, I have to say. That's pretty much the reason. I don't think it's different from any previous Guncannon high grade. And also, a lot of the kits from this were Gundam Base or P Bandai exclusive. Like, they just announced the Southern Cross High Mobility Zaku's, and they're store exclusives, and I'm mad about it. But the link is in the description if you need a Guncannon.
And the Guncannon's in, let's call this what it is. This isn't Gundam the Origin, but it's Gundam the Origin.
It is.
All the designs.
It's taken its cues from the Origin, yeah.
Heck, all the faces that Bright makes, I'm flashing back to the manga itself I read. I'm like, okay, this is just... They're just basically redoing the manga for all intents and purposes, at least all the designs. And as appropriate to make up for what it's making up for, this whole thing is beautifully animated.
It
Like
is.
top notch, high shelf, the best of the best.
Yeah. So this is directed by Yasuhiko Yoshikazu, who is better known for his character design work on Gundam, Zeta, Double Zeta, Char's Counterattack, F91. He stopped working
Pretty much all the
with
good
Tamina
stuff.
after he stopped working with Tamino after F91. Someone almost got thrown out a window. But he will all. But as a director, he
Sounds
worked
like
on
F91.
yeah, as a director, he's known for writing a couple episodes of Gundam, the Crusher Joe movie, and Venus Wars. So a lot of classics, lot of classics. And the screenplay for this is by Toshizo Namamoto, who did some episodes of IBO, most of Durarara, Macross Delta, and Robotics Notes, among a bunch of other things. He's very, very storied in this. So, getting into it, our story begins with Gems getting wrecked. Just,
Yep.
just
By
mean
basically
Zaku
a
popping out of
Zaku-
the, just popping out of the ground and wrecking guys.
Yeah, it's a Zaku that's heavily battle worn, not damaged, but battle worn to heck. Pieces of armor meeting rust and scratches and beat up everywhere. And it's taken him out with just a Heat Hawk. That's it.
Yep.
So the guy behind this thing is really good at what he does. And he makes the Zaku, which is, let's be honest, a loud, clangy thing in every other Gundam show, surprisingly stealthy.
Yeah.
But see, he takes out the G1s, and we get a flash to the Feddies. A high-ranking Federation official basically tells Bright in the White Base, okay, here's your assignment. You're going out to this island in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere, and you're going to destroy the friggin' Zeeks that are on there. How many are there? We don't know. How much resistance? We don't know. Why are we the only ones going? We don't know.
Yeah.
Go.
Bright's getting jerked around. Bright, like, this guy is... this base commander guy is, like, enjoying getting to boss this Bright around. He's just, like, happy to do this. Yeah. He knows that the Zeon... so the Zeon are fleeing Gibraltar. This is set in the Canary Islands, which are just off the west coast of Africa. And they're like, yeah, no, there's definitely, like, the Zeon's fleeing Gibraltar. This guy's part of some sort of leave behind network. We don't know what's there, but it probably matters. Get him.
Yeah. And unbeknownst to them, he like you said, he's just there to mess with Bright because he gets his kicks and giggles out of it. Unbeknownst, this turns out to be one of the most crucial spots in the war. They don't know that.
Turns out. We'll get there. This is actually the shortest, one of the shorter Gundam movies. It doesn't feel that way, just because...
That doesn't. Well, they take what's basically a 30 or 40-minute story and flesh it out with a lot of cameos, which I'm not opposed to.
This is a pretty low... Like, the second act is pretty low density, but that's fine. Like, compared to... Oh god, F91 is exhausting for the amount of stuff in it.
Yeah. We get...
Kai is a punk.
Kai is still a punk and an idiot, but I love him. I still love Kai. He's such a moron, but he's got a level head on his shoulders for being an idiot. But he's the guy he's the straight guy who's like, excuse me, this is messed up.
Yeah.
And Bright just goes, shut up and do it.
Yeah, shit is rolling downhill. Bright is
Right.
learning how to let shit roll downhill.
I love Bright in this because in the original Gundam, you see him getting a little frustrated, but he never wants to tear his hair out. This, you see him literally you can see him, he wants to go into an office, punch a wall, and scream into a pillow real bad, but he doesn't do it.
Yeah. Slager is not at the meeting, and everyone says it's because he's too drunk. Just like, yeah, he's AWOL. He's AWOL and drinking. Job John is there. He's just
Job
there.
John!
He is
love
there
Job John.
to do necessary exposition for this.
I love Job John. It's so stupid that he's there, but it's awesome that he's there.
Yeah. No, he's Job John's a good guy, but you know what? He in so many bits he's just like, and Job John is there.
Right. I always want him to be the straight man that Kai ends up being. Kai's the guy who always just kind of goes, "Why are we doing? Shut up and do it, Kai."
Yeah.
But we're gonna die. Yet he
Uh,
always lives.
always lives. So they all load up in the Gunperry and they fly out to this island, real island. Uh, did reasonable. They animated it as it actually looks. It's not that big, and we get storm clouds rolling in because Gundam has met authors that use subtext and thinks they're cowards.
The pattern continues.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, they show up on land, and maybe I'm the only one who spotted this, but the kids, a bunch of kids show up and start chucking rocks at the Gundam.
Yep.
And there's one kid wearing a Cincinnati Reds hat, and I'm like,
Yeah, one
that's
kid.
an odd placement.
Yeah, like in a Spanish territory off the coast of Africa. Oh wait, no, it makes perfect sense. It that in UC 78, the Cincinnati Reds did not win the World Series, and all of their hats ended up in Africa. That's what happened.
I guess, but it's just like nobody else is wearing a hat, and this one kid's wearing. I'm like, oh, it just makes it looks like a Cincinnati Reds hat, and I go, look, that is a Cincinnati Reds hat.
Yep.
That's an odd choice, but okay.
That was a choice. uh, I should say that all the mobile suits in this are CG. They look nice. They look nice.
They look nice.
They learned a lot.
Same thing
They learned a lot in the origin.
Yeah, and they, like I said, you don't get to see a ton of the Gundam in Origin, but I like the way this moves because why is the Gundam so much better than everything else? Because it's faster. Yeah, it's got some neat weapons. Yeah, it's got some cool look to it. But if you're just faster than the other guy, I don't care what the other guy's holding. You're gonna win.
Yeah.
The other guy can have a bazooka and you could have an axe. You're gonna win if you're faster.
It is at this point that the Zaku shows up and fights Amuro, and things do not go well for Amuro because Doan is just better at maneuvering. He knows where to be standing.
Right, and again, very stealthy Zaku. They're all really loud, but not that one.
Well, every fight happens in a thunderstorm, which is probably helping.
This is true. I mean, you don't exactly have to be stealthy when there's rain and booming and lightning and all that.
You know, summer squalls. Or November. It's November at this point, isn't it?
From the Solid Snake rule of stealthy. If there's a lot of noise going on, you don't have to be that quiet.
Yeah. They wrestle, and Amuro goes over the side of a cliff, and that's all we see. We then get Bright, then finds out that they're in the middle of a thunderstorm and calls everyone back, and no one wants to go back, but they do. Kai having been defeated by orphans with rocks.
Yeah, that's right. We skipped over it, but I want to go back a little bit. There's a moment where Bright kind of goes back to his office, head in hand, like, what the bloody hell am I doing? Let's remember, Bright's, what is he, 19 in this part of the story?
19.
And he's in charge, and he is constantly going, what the hell? And he has a great moment where Mirai comes in with him and just kind of, I don't know, talks him up. You know, he uses her as a sounding board, throwing his ideas off her, and she reassures him. It's like, okay, I never really bought these two as a couple, but you see these things like, okay, I can see where it comes from.
Well,
less of a romantic thing, more of a team thing.
It is absolutely a partnership first.
Yes.
like Mirai is definitely space mom.
Right.
And
but
that vibe comes together.
I just like that little scene. We don't get to see that much in the original Gundam, and when they get married and have kids, it's kind of like, okay. But you see this like, all right, I can see where this comes from now. But anyway, we get a neat little flashback. Amuro dreams of Dad and his complete
Mom,
insanity.
And the horrors
and
of
Mom,
war.
And we get to see a little bit of Char, who is, in the English dub, is still voiced by the same guy who did Full Frontal. I like consistency.
They've
Even if
been
all he
trying to
says is
keep
like,
the New York AV Post has been trying to keep these guys together, and it's nice.
yes, it works. Um, I do think it's interesting that when we see like he's having a nightmare and he's remembering falling back to Earth, we don't see Origin Gundam. We see OG-79 Gundam.
Yeah, they do draw
Like,
different.
right? It's like, okay, I guess this is the upgrade. I don't know, but I like it.
Just bit of service somewhere made the changes.
But he said, okay, we're not going to computer animate this little scene. Draw it however you like. And the guy went, OG. Here we go.
Yep. We get a bit where we then Amuro is then introduced to a goat, and the goat then leads him to
Yes.
be introduced to so many orphans, just
Yes.
just a wall of orphans.
And if Witch from Mercury has taught us nothing, goats make everything better.
That's true.
Everything is better with a goat.
Amuro
yes.
then very quickly
Amuro then-
chooses heat stroke over spending
Right.
time with children. Just like immediately,
Right.
I'm like, I'm going to march that way.
Right. I'm going to go look for my Gundam on this island. Where did you leave it? Don't remember. See ya. It
That
just literally
way-
wanders around.
Yeah, like north-ish a bit. I'm gonna
He
cover.
wanders around the island like an idiot.
He just walks north up a volcano.
And all the kids are like, "Where's he going?" And then Donan's like, "Just let him wander. He'll eventually figure out that he's wandering in circles and he'll come back. I'm not wasting my time."
I do not have time to chase him.
Right.
I have chores to do.
We go back to the White Bait and we find out that General Revel himself. We haven't heard from him in a long time. It was fun to see him. He's like, "Okay, we're going to start our plan attack on Odessa, and I want the White Base. I want it under my command." So he calls Bigwig and says, "Okay, you got the White Base? Send him my way now." But I sent them on assignment. I said now. I'll do as fast as I. Do you not understand what now means? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I immediately call up White Base. Okay, I need you to head here right now. What about our mission?
You said it was
Right
very important.
Look, the upper brass just called me. Go!
Like,
But you said
I
we had a
can't.
very important mission.
Yeah.
Shut your hole, turn the ship, and go. We're missing one of our pilots. Go!
Amuro eventually comes back with his heat stroke and no Gundams. He's
Right.
then treated to dinner. They have a surprising amount of food. Like, they get a spread. That is fresh bread. I don't know how they're getting fresh bread out there. But the kids are a bit pissy because he did not do any chores. And Marco is mad because I'm guessing Marco is probably like 15 and just feeling a bit threatened by the only other male his age.
Marco does look like almost like a different character skin for Ramo. He looks a
Yeah,
lot like him.
yeah.
Just-
Player 2 Amuro.
Right, basically, yeah. Darker hair, a little darker skin, slightly different wardrobe, but it's basically another Amuro. They could be cousins.
Yeah.
And for considering Amuro's mom, for all we know, they are. But
The kids are then put to bed, whereupon they pledge allegiance to the Doan, I guess. I don't know. It's a prayer / a social contract. I don't know. Most of it is fine. There's two things that are like, that's a little abusive. That's really not letting these war orphans process their feelings. Maybe you should let them cry, Cucuruz.
whatever. Well,
Yeah.
we did miss. I may have jumped it, but okay. We get to see the Bright Slap in HD,
Yeah, we do get a recapitulation of the Bright Slap.
and it's just as awesome as it was before.
Yeah.
Amuro, the Bright Slap, making competent pilots out of whiny little teenagers since 1979.
Furuya says he's not gonna play Teen Amuro anymore. Redoing that scene really does let me say, yeah, I'm not gonna I'm okay with them. I'm cool with him retiring younger Amuros.
No need for it anymore. The Bright Slap has done its job.
Yeah.
Makuve pops up, and the base is
Yes.
in the background because, of
We
course, it is.
we get Admiral Gop, who I think is from the Origin. He's a dude. He's a Federation dude. He's a jerk. And we get an appearance of McVeigh and his Vaz, and he is just extorting the Federation government.
Well, they basically say to him, "Are you willing to accept our terms of surrender?" And he goes, "Okay, here's what's going to happen. If you don't back off, we're going to blow up Paris, London, and
New
Washington
York,
D.C. We're going to
yeah, like
it'd be like
four
list off
cities
a
are
bunch of
gone.
cities." And they're all looking at him like, you're not a very good poker player. What they don't know is he's actually dead serious.
Yeah,
Like, I think he's doing a crappy bluffing job on purpose just so he can launch him.
yeah, he wants to. Meanwhile, in Casablanca, we get a team of 6 Zaku's, the Southern Cross, who are just wrecking up everything. Their high mobility Zaku's have weird Dom goof feet that let them skate, and they just wreck everybody.
I just wanted them to be on rollerblades. Is that too much to ask?
One of them is definitely moving like roller skates. Absolutely.
Like,
Their commander
there's
has some
there's
Doan envy because he is insecure in his manliness. It does not help that he is drawn like knockoff Dozel, so he has to live up to 2 guys that we already know.
I appreciate that the one whiny one is Crispin Freeman because of course he is.
Waldo, yeah.
Yeah, because if you got somebody who's going to whine and complain, it has to be Crispin Freeman. He's so good at that.
He's so
like
him as Waldo is great. It's great.
well, the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya was basically an entire movie about him monologuing and complaining, and it was glorious.
Oh well, he gets to talk to him. He gets to cuss himself out in that, and it's brilliant.
Right. It's like the role he was born to play. I mean, my God. But yes, Amuro decides to get a rope and starts looking for the Gundam on the cliff. Goes about as well as you'd expect. He eventually does find it, sort of.
Yeah.
He finds a memory of it.
Well, yeah, he figures out where it went. He goes out looking for the Gundam again. After doing some chores, we do get a kid with a snake. Wonderful Tomino animal, that snake. And he does some chores, and he goes out and finds the cliff he fell off. Realizes that it's a cliff, and he's going to need some more stuff to do. We then cut back to White Base, where the White Base's orphans, have gone on strike because they will not leave without Big Bro Amuro. They have taken a hunger strike. Slager tricks them into opening the washroom doors, and then just does a very lean into the boys. It's like, okay, guys, we are going to disobey direct orders and help our friend. Y'all ever been court-martialed yet? Let's do that. Let's Let's knock that off your bucket
That's the line
list.
he says that's the line he does to Kai. Like, hey, Kai, we get court-martial? We could go disobey some direct orders and go get it right. But the best thing is, as it goes on, you see that, okay, Sailor's in on it, Mirai's in on it, and eventually, I don't think anyone actually tells Bright, but he puts 2 and 2 together. He's like, "Oh, look, it's broken. It's gonna be a while. What's not functioning now? Oh, crap!
All the phalanges on the starboard side, you say? All of them?
What a pickle!" He looks at his commander and goes, "It's gonna be a while before we can get there, boss. I'll keep you updated." Click.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed that more than I should have.
Amuro fixes a well. Yeah,
At least
that's it.
At least he's useful.
Yeah, and for his trouble, he gets a rope, which means that he is allowed to go down into the cave where all the stuff is hiding, and we learn a little bit from Marco and Doan as to what's going on.
And Marco beats the living crap out of Amuro.
Yeah, just like, I will prove that I can fight by fighting. which
I
is
can prove I deserve to pilot the white one by beating the crap out of its original pilot. And Amuro's just like, what the hell? Ow! What the? Ow! What the hell? Which,
uh,
to Amuro's credit, like, he takes the beating well, and he's mostly confused the whole time. What's happening right now? Why?
why are you doing this to me? We cut to
I thought we were
McVeigh.
friends. Fix the well.
Yeah. We cut to McVeigh, who has some reservations about how loyal Doan might be. So he sends the Southern Cross team to be like, hey, make sure that the thing we left at that secret volcano base is gonna do the thing I want it to do. All 6 of you go and do that.
Yeah, this is watching them like, oh great, it's the Magician's Eight again.
Yeah. We cut to
you guys aren't making it, are you? We get to count down.
we get the gun parry as Job John, Kai, Hayato, and Fra and the orphans. Scene missing. I actually want the scene where Kai just looks at the orphans. It's like, you're going to look, I know you're gonna sneak into the gun parry. I know it. You know it, right, Kika? Yeah, we were gonna sneak onto the gun parry. We were gonna hide in the locker. All right, this is an airplane, and I need you to wear your seatbelts. Just get on. And it would be Kai. It would be Kai that's just like, I know what you're about, kids.
Look, I'm not even going to try and stop you because we all know I wouldn't succeed. Get on the plane, put on the safety equipment. Okay?
That's it.
You gotta make compromises sometimes. Like I said, Kai's a straight man.
Yep.
He'll just tell you like it is.
Earlier in the movie, they mentioned that the electrical system for the island has been out. This was a lie, because Amuro breaks into the basement of the lighthouse, realizes that the battery backups are just unplugged, so he turns it on, and Doan is like, that is a very bad thing. We should not have power. Marco looks directly at the lighthouse light. Directly at it.
Yeah.
Marco is a stupid boy who cannot see now.
Yes. Well, this is the guy who tried to take the Gundam by beating the crap out of its pilot.
Yep.
Because that immediately makes you qualified to pilot a mobile suit. Beating the crap out of the guy who did it. That's how learning works.
Yep. So the Southern Cross make it to the island. They split up. Bright knows the Southern Cross is coming to the island. Gunparry's already there. Doan leaves to get in his Zaku to fight everybody. Marco takes Amuro to the cave so that they too can join the fighting everybody. They decide to swim instead of climb, because swimming underwater for a very long time is totally normal when you have access from above that doesn't seem too hard. Amuro passes out, is what I'm saying. He can't hold his breath for 4 minutes.
No, nobody can. But yes.
Nobody can.
Turns out, Doan's Island is actually a nuclear launch facility because screw the Antarctic Treaty.
Well, it's, again, Mikuve is not someone who loses well, I'm gonna say.
No.
Nah, he's willing to try a scorched earth move. Who's gonna prosecute him if 6 cities are on fire and he's leaving, right?
Yeah,
it's only a war crime if he gets caught or loses.
It's only a war crime if there's any judges left to try.
There's that.
It's like, oh, you're going to charge me with war crimes. Guess what? Everyone's dead. Who could actually charge me with a war crime? We
Slinger
win.
and Sayla shoot some guys. Kai and Hayato immediately fail. Just immediately.
As their way.
They like, I know this is early in the show, but I remember Hayato being almost good at things by this point.
Not that good.
Ryu, Jose, and Jobjon were doing all the work. That's what we've learned.
Ryu was always doing all the work. Job John is the only reason everyone's still alive. Like Amuro, yes, he saved the day, got all the glory. You realize they would have been dead? Like he's like the R2D2 of Mobile Suit Gundam, in the background, saving everybody all the time. Without him, they're all dead.
Yeah. So Waldo hops out of his Zaku, activates the nuclear device, which has a loading bar, not a countdown, which is an interesting break with convention, and I'm okay with that.
You gotta wait till the nukes load before you can fire them.
Yeah, it firmware updates. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You bring a new weapon system online, and you have to update the firmware. I mean, God help you if you try to do it on Christmas Day.
Oh God. Click fire nuclear warhead. Would you like to download WinRAR? No. Click. Would you like to leave a review? No. Would you like to leave a donation? Shut up.
Tell a friend. That's what Waldo's doing, by the way. He's clicking through. Yes, 3 stars on the Google Play Store.
What's this app called? Blow up the fetish. Yeah, sure, whatever. No, I don't want to write a review.
Amuro sneaks back into the Gundam, activates, kills Sean something, the one who isn't interesting. There are 6 guys in the Southern Cross. Only 3 of them are interesting.
The one who isn't interesting.
The one who is least interesting kills him. Waldo's like, oh dear, that's a big robot. I'm gonna hide. Amuro goes crunchy. Just poor bloody infantry on him.
Poor Waldo. Poor Crispin Freeman. He dies a lot.
Yeah. We cut up to the surface where Doan is fighting everybody. He kills Danan, who is the best one of the Southern Cross, because he's just Zoltan again. He's just Zoltan. I don't know how they cloned Zoltan in the past, but that is a Zoltan, and I love him.
You gotta love the simple people. What are you here to do?
He just wants violence. He just wants violence.
What are you here to do? Kill them all. Why are you here? To kill them all. Why do you want to kill them all? Kill them all.
Kai and Hayato have an extended goat sequence. This is a scene we needed. It was a scene we needed.
Yes, it was. Goat shows up, runs the orphans to the other orphans because that's what the goat's job is. I have seen live goats. I've never seen one move that fast.
Very fast.
That goat was like friggin' flash of goats. Goats don't move. They jump high, and they can go places most other animals can't. But they're not really quick.
Yeah. The goats beat up Kai and Hayato to just make them feel bad about themselves.
It's like, hey, you got your ass whooped by everybody else. Might as well join in.
And the goat then leads Fra, Sayla, Slager, Kai, Hayato, Kikakatzlets, and all the other orphans up the volcano, which is 5 kilometers away from the lighthouse. 5 kilometers. This is a long walk. Because I guess all the orphans have to watch what goes on.
Yeah.
Doan does some more fighting. He comes down to fighting the Dazzle guy. Dazzle guy chops off his arm. Doan throws the rock! The thing we all came to see, because even if you have never seen episode 16, Doan's Zaku is a favorite of video games, and what it has, instead of any other ability, is throw rock.
It is one of the touchstone moments of Gundam, for the dumbest reason. This great future mech technology has lost all its weapons, except for Heat Hawk. So you know what? Let's chuck a rock at it.
It is.
And then Killer Croc leans in and goes, "It was a big rock."
It was a big rock. And we love it. This Gundam fans have loved this for 45 years. We can't stop now. We love rock.
It's one of the stupidest things in Gundam. But it's one of those stupid things that is so stupid, it comes full circle back to awesome.
Amuro
Kind of like
shows
the
up
goat.
and saves the day. He has learned how to use Cliff Edge to his advantage, and the light in this sequence is so great. It's dark out. There's a thunderstorm. They really play with the lighting off the beam sabers and the Heat Hawk. It's this is very pretty. This is very pretty. I know a lot of people.
I
I know people are kind of leery of CG mechs, and that's because I think we're only getting animators now that can really use other techniques in conjunction with it. So we're seeing lighting effects. We're seeing some squash and stretch as well in these fights, and it's great. It's really pretty. Amuro wins.
no,
He cuts the guy in half. The nukes launch, and there's no. Oh, we gotta chase the nukes down, Amuro. You gotta learn double jump. It just goes up. The fleet does a bunch of anti-ballistic missiles to try to stop it, and turns out that Doan, who has been doing homework in various scenes the entire movie, was just disabling most of the guidance system so that it goes all the way up. And then it breaks Atmo, it breaks the Karman line, all 6 bombs go off. Everyone's like, ooh, pretty nuclear explosions in space. Isn't that pretty?
Well, I love the look on the face of the Confederation who thought McCuve was bluffing. When he watches him bluff, he's like, hoo. Okay.
And like Gop,
Okay.
and like Gop is scum, but even he's like, that really went well for us, guys. That really did. Good luck. We did great.
You
Like
can see him
he admits,
he
just admits it's like we were so boned, and I didn't know what to do.
Right. Well, you can see him process it all. It's like, oh, I played this so poorly. And they blow up and they're like, oh, wow. Wow, I'm buying a lotto ticket. Wait, we're at war. There's no lotto. Crap. Wow. I totally got bailed out by that one.
We get a scene of McVeigh, who realizes that he has been hosed. He has been hosed. He has been bamboozled, and he just leaves the room laughing. And what I really wanted was for, as he left, there to be a sound of a gunshot, because I need him to have died 3 different ways across adaptations and side stories.
No, I just wanted him to stand up, chuckle, pick up his vase, and go in the other room. Never explain what he does with that vase, because you really don't want to know.
Yeah, he just leaves laughing. We then get the scene where Amuro does the thing from episode 16 where it's like, look, no, they're never going to leave you alone as long as you have this Zaku. Let me cast it into the sea.
Right.
And
he literally just, Ultimate Warrior gorilla press slams that sucker. Like, okay, you're overdoing it a bit, but sure, why not? And just chucks it over there.
And then they leave. Everyone leaves. The White Base sorties. And
as
we
far
get
as
the
we
song.
know, Doan still lives there. Yeah.
Well, we
I love the music too. They do a lot of old school Gundam music, but very orchestral, symphonic.
New orchestrations of old Gundam songs, and it's great. Love it.
Yeah.
Origin didn't do it enough, and this makes me happy.
Yeah, I love they did the original Gundam theme song, but they did a really slow, melodic orchestral theme.
Yeah,
and that was just
French horn, Tobey Gundam, very good.
A
couple of the disco tracks. Couple of the disco tracks rearranged for like timpani and string quartet, very good. No, I liked it.
And it's just a nice little bow out. It's like, okay. And you can just see Yaz just kind of going, okay, I've officially wiped that stain off my record.
Like, yeah, it was my fault. Like, his name was not on it. He used a fake. But it's like, it was my fault that episode 16 was episode 16. And I finally got to do it to my satisfaction. Tamina will never be happy about anything, but that's between him and his therapist.
No, yeah. The only way it happens if he's happy is if it's in live action, really happening around him, and even then he would nitpick.
Oh yeah, no, he'd be mad. He'd be mad.
It's the wrong color red. We're gonna repaint it. Now it's too red. But yeah, Yaz, he's like, okay, yes, I did this. I was the guy in charge. Sure, did I do all the drawings and was I under a horrible time crunch? No, I didn't do all the drawings, and yes, I was under a time crunch. But yeah, my name was on there, even though I changed it and
Yeah.
put a fake one. But everyone figured out it was me anyway.
Well,
So all these years later, I get the do over, and he makes this one of the most beautifully animated things ever come out of Gundam. It's like, there.
yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
they did manage to keep it secret for 40 years, and like the only reason anyone figured it out, like the only reason why we figured out it was Yaz's fault is like literally he was doing work on the movie, and it's like, okay, now I can say it was me because I'm already in the process of fixing it.
Right. I can freely admit that this was my stinky turd, and now I get to clean it up and make a new nice shiny thing. Hey, anyone who's ever created anything artistic, anything, whether it's music, art, building models, painting, drawing, writing, whatever, everyone who's ever done that has made a turd.
Yeah, like
Something you think is
sometimes,
really, really, sometimes you think is, pretty good, and then you put it out there and you're like, that was crap.
yeah, like sometimes you just you shoot your shot and the world works against you and you got to settle for what happened. And
Right.
this actually turned
It
out.
happens. There are plenty of Leonardo da Vinci drawings and paintings that he pitched because he knew it was ass.
Yeah,
Pablo Picasso trashed a lot of his work because he thought it was trash. Vincent van Gogh hated everything he did.
that's between him and his therapist.
Yes, they desperately needed one back in the day. But yeah, everyone's allowed at least one. In fact, more than one. Yaz just happened to get lucky enough to not only make one, but to get a chance to do over. And he nailed it.
Yeah,
This was good.
this was nice. This was nice. I watched it both. I watched both. I watch everything twice, so I got to do a run on the sub and the dub. The dub's pretty good. The guy playing Doan is from like a bunch of commercials, so that was distracting me. Like he sounds
Didn't
like he
catch
should be
that.
selling me State Farm or something.
Possibly. The only thing, and everyone's guilty of this, is Bright Noah was again made to sound a lot older than he is. But
Yeah,
I will say that Bright is 19, and we've never really accepted that
yeah,
because he's
he,
way mature beyond his years. He kind of has to be under the circumstances.
yeah. No, I enjoyed this movie. Glad for it. Again, uh, just getting some love for Makuve was great. Seeing him in action, him being a smarmy bastard was great. Uh,
I need a Makuve movie from his point of view. We got a lot
and
more
he
of him
needs to
in
die
Gundam the.
differently in that one too.
Yes, he does. Uh, yeah, in the Gundam the Origin, we got a lot more on Makuve and just what a slimy eel of a human being he is. And he's just vile. That's the best way I can describe him. He's not mean. He's not a monster in any sense. He's just vile. He's the kind of guy you don't want to be around for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah,
Like he could be at a coffee table and sitting around talking about French Impressionist art. You still want to leave when you're around him.
yeah, yeah.
But yes, Doan's Island, good movie. Was it 100% necessary? No. Am I still glad it was there? Yes.
Yeah, it's of all the things to do, I don't know why they would do this except to make Yaz happy, and they did it. It was feature length and widely released theatrically, and I really do want to be able to buy this on Blu-ray. I'm not sure why there is not a disc out in North America yet.
Because Donut Islands does not exist here. It's not
Yeah,
real.
oh God, still the rule holds up.
Yeah,
But
it's like if we know about the remake, we might learn about the original. So nobody wants that.
nobody
But no,
wants that.
can Can I want to make one request that'll never happen? Can we get a Battle of Solomon, just a movie update, Battle of Solomon with the Gundam the Origin uh, artists and the whole team, and just do skip right to the end. I know we can't get all of it. Battle of Solomon, please.
I would not. I think them actually redoing any more of Gundam is gonna have like any more of First Gundam. I know everyone on Reddit seems to think that like a remake of First Gundam is necessary and inevitable, but I think
I
Tamino
don't think
has
it'll
to
happen.
be dead, and
Yeah,
probably also Ikeda.
yeah. I don't think they'll ever remake all of it, but I wouldn't. It's like, can we just get a Battle of Solomon? That's all I'm asking for.
We,
Charlie,
we
stop eating me.
we could start to see pieces of it coming out a little at a time now. Um, Otherwise, again, I want to remind everyone that this episode brought to you by RightStuff.com and the high grade Guncannon high model kit. It's a Guncannon. It's a very nice Guncannon. Shipping is reasonable. The price is fine. It does come with the parts that let you have the little missile shoulder packs instead of, instead of the actual cannon. You know, the Hayato style, so you can fail even faster, I guess. Link in the description, because that's how we get a little bit of money off of that. But until next time, I will say that the audio version of this will be a little cleaner, a little faster. It's available where you get podcasts. Otherwise, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And shoutouts to Trevor for being in the chat. Shoutouts to Kenny in the chat. You're cool guys. But until next time.
Good night, everybody.